And I said that we have to change the forward line of parliament. Otherwise, it will be difficult for us to win election.
I want to remind you, that time we came to General Secretary, you don't have paper. You don't have paper to give anybody. But we have given the secretary to you. So now you are a big man. You want to punish people. Look at nonsense.
And I recall when President came for his thank you tour, not the other thank you tour, the proper thank you tour of President Mahama.
Everything that I'm going to say, I swear by the God that created me.
All right, so fellow Ghanaians, a very good morning, good afternoon, a very good evening to you, wherever you are watching us from. In this particular video, I'm going to give you a video. It is going to shock you, kakra, because say be a me better na me catch say NDC and to Kobe Soba. Now it is going to be and to kwa a branch of NPP no. And in fact, so I want to have my time, or I want to get time to expound things to you very well for you to get it right. So that me will end this if we be emotion with channel, they would never get emotions. So I'm going to put emotion aside. Now my true video we and komobia baba. Now you Asiedu Nketia edi nkomobi, but me say some me who ade me pese me nya ho abotre na me tietie mu na me hwehwe mu me research yanko na you Asiedu Nketia aba be di nkomobi. I think last week more baby na wako northern region na wako kire mu say the front two no front three na wo parliament which is you Harunna Iddrisu. Any then time Harunna Iddrisu no a minority leader and Muntaka a deputy any nipa ba ku bi kan na wono and the catcher President John Dramani Mahama say we should reshuffle these people yen yi omumfro say yen yi omumfro election ye belusi enti wakwa akodi sankom we ebusua okodi nkomo we no me pese me ma wukotie ye wura Asiedu Nketia nkomo no wakodi yam ye ba Harunna Iddrisu ene Muntaka I responded, but Muntaka responded no. One responded to Asiedu Nketia nko or responded to Kevin Taylor so. But me busa Asiedu me busa ye Muntaka questions or say on so bigot so. Why any bigot no? Let's watch Asiedu Nketia nko no.
Who should be the minority? We got over that time. Then new things were emerging. And I said that we have to change the forward line of parliament. Otherwise, it will be difficult for us to win election. President Mahama disagreed with me. But I said that, look, you have elected me as chairman of this party. I am the coach of the party going into the election. So let me make the changes that will win us the election. When we win, we all enjoy together. Since I made that change, I say my brother Harunna sit somewhere. The other guy, Muntaka, you also sit somewhere. Let people come, new people come, and you sit on the bench and watch. There was hell. And people started thinking that somebody who has been my friend for more than 20 years has certainly become my enemy. I said, how can Harunna become my enemy? He cannot become my enemy. But I am a coach, and I must watch how our opponents are playing, so that I also arrange my things for us to be able to win. When we did the arrangement, we went into the election. The victory that NDC got in 2024, have you seen any such victory in Ghana since the beginning of the Fourth Republic? We won. After winning, I told President Mahama that we cannot ignore Muntaka and Harunna in the setting up of our government. So they need to be given big positions. President Mahama agreed, and they gave them big positions. And we are working together. So if you are in Tamale here, and you are forming groups, Harunna group, Asiedu Nketia group, and so on, it is not our case. It is your case in Tamale here. It's not us. Because we are working together. And so, Chief, I just came to thank you and to assure our followers that NDC will continue to be one. There will be struggle for positions. There will be times people will be angry, others will be smiling. But at the end of the day, when we are struggling for things, we must make sure that the vehicle we are traveling in together will remain intact. Don't let us carry our differences in ways that will destroy the NDC vehicle that keeps us in power. So I want to thank you very much. I want to thank the good people of Tamale South and appreciate the work you have been doing, and we expect you to do more in the coming elections. Thank you, and may God bless Harunna.
And after this particular video of Asiedu Nketia, National Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, and Harunna Iddrisu, and so, and John Dramani Mahama, Tio, and Komanoa, Harunna Iddrisu Bedino, ABC a doctor. It is never a doctored video. John Dramani Mahama hobby. Because now we're calling ICT, they say ICT blog. On per se, almost see ICT blog. Enti no wakwa pemu e wo northern region. Eho na Harunna Iddrisu edge mic. Na watch say I recall when President John Dramani Mahama woye ne thank you tour no. Tie enye thank you tour ba ko no. The original thank you tour. What comes into your mind? Oni Asiedu Nketia mentemi wose bi wom the very day I change you no any Muntaka no. Enti Asiedu Nketia nkomo mu wotie se wo se me ka se yensesa Harunna Iddrisu any the other guy. Listen, Asiedu Nketia to call Muntaka the other guy. There is a beef somewhere of which is again and they started. And ya Asiedu Nketia told no mun started. E wo ho dada. But akwese ball so gently me make trust ye benya se hofo no until we know exactly what is going on. And the Muntaka the mic. Tie Muntaka or the saying Harunna Iddrisu. Tie Harunna Iddrisu ne respond. Na ye wia Muntaka nso ne constituency chairman so ne executive baako enso respond. Ye wia Muntaka nkasa nso a respond to Asiedu Nketia and Kevin Taylor Tibra.
Legacy, an enduring legacy, was to have this Boale College of Education established in this area. And I recall when President came for his thank you tour, not the other thank you tour, the proper thank you tour of President Mahama. Proper thank you tour of President Mahama as President Flag Bearer. What cannot be said, Mr. President, we can say it. A proper thank you of President Mahama, not the Curtain Razor one. Not the Curtain Razor one. When President Mahama came for his thank you, he assured the people of Tinga, thanks to your MP, that they will get a dedicated STEM school. We will be there shortly. That school, when you start from kindergarten, you will see your end at senior high school in the same building. It is now my honor and privilege to introduce to you your own son, President of the Republic, who keeps his word. He said,
I want to remind you, that time you came to General Secretary, you don't have paper. You don't have paper to give anybody. But we have given the secretary to you. So now you are a big man. You want to punish people. Look at nonsense. I want to tell you, I'm the constituency chairman. I don't care about you. I don't care about you. Oh, you can't come to Tamil again. Look, is a two-time you want to go to it and get chance. Because of your stupidness, you don't get chance
To respond to a bigot, somebody who hates our country but pretends to love it, whose stock is just to malign innocent persons with lies, and he tells the lies with so much confidence that people, some gullible people, tend to believe him. Everything that I'm going to say, I swear by the God that created me, that I'm saying what I know is the truth, not because I want to entertain someone like Calvin Taylor, but because of the innocent 1,001 gullible people across the globe who are finding it very difficult to read between the thin line to know who is speaking the truth and who is lying. Let me start by saying that I'm not a fan of him. I don't listen to him. I hardly get time to listen to him. But unfortunately, his last few episodes seem to consistently mention me, and people draw my attention. And a lot of people, well-meaning Ghanaians, don't respond to him. I'm sorry that I cannot continue to hold on when he continues these lies. I have had the great privilege of serving my people from Aswansi in Parliament for over a decade and a half. I'm not anywhere near saying that I'm intelligent more than any other person in Aswansi, or wiser than any other person in Parliament, but I know all those who have worked with me will attest to the fact that I'm so passionate about what I do. I've consistently defended my constituency, and the records are there for everybody to see. I have consistently defended my party since I was in Parliament. I have consistently defended every flag bearer that we've had with all the energy in me. Calvin Taylor, let me tell you, I challenge you to bring everything that you claim to have. I am very ready for you. Let me start by saying that I don't work to you. I don't work to you. I work to my constituents. But you see, the kind of allegations that you are leveling is so shocking that you claim to be a journalist and you know the tenets of good journalism. The tenet of good journalism is that when you get facts, you give people that facts are around them, the so-called facts, to authenticate or otherwise. You cross-check, you provide evidence of what you are saying. You don't just go talking on top of your head, because probably some people might have given you some wrong.
You see, I have a question here to ask Muntaka. You were Muntaka. You were one of the few NDC people I loved. Me pewasam brutal, because we need you for you to win Ashanti region. As one say, it is not easy. And in fact, I really like you. Now, Kevin Taylor no wo kana some. When did you realize that Kevin Taylor kasa wo ha kasa na wo kana no kure ni? Ebusuan pato muntiu. When did Harunna or the saying Muntaka realize say Kevin Taylor nkwama no wo di sabi enkwase asem. And say Kevin Taylor nkama na metwi no a entinka Muntaka nim say Kevin Taylor kan kwase asem. All this why. And it's a Kevin Taylor and Kasa man wura ne punumwa. And Muntaka never knows say Kevin Taylor and common would nyane yentro. And we've been looking for a person from NDC to tell Kevin Taylor say I don't know why and sabi in previous would tian crofobia nice do wo ya mayukum. You are fighting for us. Into would tian crofobia nice to die. When was the day Harunna or the same Muntaka who say Kevin Taylor sabi ninsem wakano eyankwase asem. If not to say wakaya mani be wura upunmu a ana wakaya mani be wura wakoma mu a wotwa to so anka unhunu se nkoma wodi nko entronko a all just because okama mu. Now Muntaka Harunna Iddrisu Munkrofo no na ekasa Harunna Muntaka nkrofo kra do mo se wo Asiedu Nketia wo ba party na wo ne hwe na to kra na won fan support party and the one ma boa am baby ejina. But I think say enkomo no a Harunna Iddrisu Asiedu Nketia kodi ye anu odin kakra because se wo petumi a de bia me kase se wo petumi a ye ndina wo bi kon ho emfam petumi yenkum dwafo ndidwa enti wo party member na wo kodi na o kase du bre bi kura me na me kase yes the front two so the front three and yes I be Lucia na so person wo say that time no na wo mo so nim fa so no mo nim de mo ye. In fact so what this ankomo no kura ma nka wutrim not because of politics ya wo kope leadership ntino I was say wo disgrace mo like wo gina bi kon so kasa e ba na sa no a baby a wo gina nso no eyo mo krom o omo tribe mu na wo like omo religion mu na wo no omo ye northerners into who could do northern region would be sound common. Manimbre would tell say baby, I would know a word into who could come masam. Or monk of obedience when I say, Omokrano Munyadi, Anthony science song because up to now, a bit named the song. You shouldn't have voiced that. But when him Musa Dankwa and Camera, if Musa Dankwa the response, at the Ama Asiedu Nketia, no dear. Only Sadiana Asiedu Nketia, no. Onuankasa was send a political career because at first, na Asiedu Nketia yesi na wada second ena atoforsen ebe tu no enti nkende nka Asiedu Nketia yank wonye ne nko so betene yi no wo twe ne ho edeba from watch this.
And I think if he had been consistent when he met the people in the northern region, that would have been the end of the case. What he said in the northern region actually is now calling for more questions. So what was the reason why you removed these guys then? That made you think that if they had stayed there, they could have won the election, or it would have been much difficult for you to win the election. If he had expanded on that, that would have killed the issue. But he was silent on that, and that allowed people to continue to speculate. And for people who back Harunna, it made them angry. But they were trying to move on from that painful experience. Only to be reminded that this issue is still. But I think for Asiedu Nketia, he was trying to show that he is in charge. He takes a decision. Even if he's not agree with it, he will go with it if he believes in it. What does it portray as a leader? You see, you can look at the positive side and negative side. You know, as a political strategist, you might think it's a show of strength. In another breath, it could be what? Dictatorship.
Yeah.
So there was no consensus. But he went ahead to implement that. So people are right to be asking those questions. Was it necessary at that meeting? I would say no. Politically, I would say no. But I understand the data and I know how data can be moved by sentiment or by this kind of comments. I wouldn't have, well, I'm not a strategist anyway. I wouldn't have gone the way he did. Are we overreacting? No, we're not overreacting.
Now, Usa, sorry. Before you express your view on whether we're overreacting or we're not, or our reaction is understandable, I want to interrogate a bit the statement you made about the inconsistency with the reasons that were given or were advanced for the reshuffle in Parliament, or the leadership of Parliament. Now, you're talking about the interview. In fact, I've seen that video also be trending this weekend. Of course, I recall where the interviewer asked Asiedu Nketia why he decided to change the parliamentary leadership of the NDC at the time. And you're absolutely spot on. Ranking member, now minority leader. And he also mentions in that video that the reason why Emmanuel Ama Kofi Boah was made the deputy, because he says he foresees a situation where the 2024 elections was going to be anchored on finance and energy. So finance, economics, and energy. So he believes that these two will be better placed to deal with the issues as and when they come up. Okay. But when you listen to that interaction he had with the chiefs in the north, he then says, as a coach, you look at what your opponents are doing, or what your opponents, or the strategy your opponents are playing, and then you devise the right strategies to counter it. Also means that the strategy would obviously include the personnel you intend to deploy to implement or execute that strategy. So, can't somebody counter argue that part of the strategy to deal with the NPP at the time was to say that, okay, you know what? These are the two people who are better placed to deal with the NPP's, how do you call it? Because remember, there was Dr. Mahmoud Bamia, and we all know what Dr. Mahmoud Bamia's makeup is, which is that economics, and to some extent finance, and some extent banking. So, if he tells the chiefs in the north that he's had to change strategy, which includes changing the leadership of parliament at the time because of what the NPP had brought by way of its candidate or flag bearer, maybe he's been consistent. It's all part of strategy, isn't it?
No,
it's all strategy.
Look, from telling us that he did that because of economy and energy,
yes.
What strategy?
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Using this personnel.
Yes.
If we had done the same repetition, we would have been more consistent.
Okay.
And avoid any speculation beyond that limit.
Oh, okay.
So you allow room for people to speculate. Before at the time, there was speculation. You are in this.
No.
I
know.
So to avoid the speculation, stick to the same script. The matter would have been issue.
That's interesting.
All right. I think that's why we saw the running.
Let me conclude by saying a thank you to you. Very big thank you. Maybe I will share me and whatever. In fact, you've helped me a lot. Maybe I would never say me dinner baby. I can say my viewers I've never seen you before. You've never you me. So I should tell you that thank you. God bless you. What? I mean, na when in the equals when this month, they be a make catch so we end this ni. But that woman now my platform was what? Put emotions aside. Listen to their making. So when me nyadria, what they want me nyadria metiasie. Everybody has its own opinion. But so when me nyadria, yeah, metwase. But put emotions aside. But the equals were party no. I feel no one more baby flag bearer. The equals were party no. Asiedu Nketia nkomo no wodino wa won se beef no shaase free baby o e shaase free that very day ye yi Muntaka ne Harunna Iddrisu e free front ho no ana osai ka trom so munkwetre no mo hwe de ekoso no de current leader no ho no be yi no munkwetre no mo hwe de what you say enti omo yi no ana omo de atofo osen Aba ye be minority leader then time. And the minority leader to force in by no. Ono nso wie no ono nso kwa akoye finance minister. enti e was say ye onu ne ye foforo ade ne be hye nanan Harunna Iddrisu ho Muntaka ho the people that led that time ye yi omumu bia wo na chairman Asiedu Nketia ne mpenimfo sai kwatena sese dabi yamfama this particular man but what you say yamfama de what is sisi mahama yarega yamfama wono na ese de omo na omo di anim no ye different omo sem na ese omo so nim faso ye nim faso wo mo so but the Muntaka as I'm talking to you behwe de asawa asofo omo nsin fomo and what happened and this antokwa no e akwaso me say so wo hwe na ne ya wo be mistake hwe na no yes machira madwene me hunu say Yewura Asiedu Nketia he is going too far the baby akeka kono what true nti eba no say no a obi anso wo followers nti followers no say omo sori a papa it is not going to be well for you and the party we are chairman we are national chairman please in komo bi ho a wadawruma endi na wudi a emwa se makwose kukom kwa na makwodi sa de no e ma ne mba abonte because mo party no people are saying say emu akono but me catch them say ededem but mama sam ne nya ne kore say jada mo party no wadawruma highest South African media so we NDC na subscribe we NPP na subscribe we CPP na subscribe party bia we bia subscribe wo de so okura so we ya particular wadawruma subscribe what na ye won some de man we mbetwa ntronto bia so ntine ya ne ya ma reference ya more evidences but what you say midin e de oduma nkomo bana na kofi thank you very much say obey ni sade amami from Asante Gudi.